Hi guys, it's Miss Softus. So what I want to talk to you today is a little bit about gist and main idea. So this week in reading, you're going to learn a lot about what is the gist of a story or what is the main idea. And you're talking about Esperanza Rising or one of your UDHR. So when we talk about the gist, we're talking about what the text is mostly about. So when we think about what the text is mostly about, it's really just telling what in a real little bitty as little detail as possible what happened. So if I tell you, if I say to you, hey, what did you do yesterday in school? I want you to give me the gist. I want you to give me the gist of what your teacher taught you in school yesterday. Well, we went over um, proverbs and we learned about how the different kinds of proverbs. I want you to tell me the gist, a real little bit, not a lot of detail, just what it's mostly about, just so that we can understand, hey, this is what we're talking about. Okay. So when we talk about the gist and what it's mostly about, and I look at this book, I want to think to myself. So this book, the title is called Going to School. Let me read this page to you. Mexican children start school when they are 6 years old. They must go to elementary school for 6 years and middle school for 3 more years. Students take classes in reading, writing, math, science, and history. In some schools, students study English or other languages. Students in Mexico do not have to attend high school. Some go to work instead to help support their family. Students who continue their education can choose between two different kinds of school. Some high schools prepare students to go to college, while others offer training for specific jobs that they can start after graduating. When I think about the gist of this page, we're talking about what the story is mostly about. I have three options. Is the gist that many children attend Mexico, or Mexico is in Central America, or the United States is located above Central America? Well, nowhere in this is it talking about where the United States is located. So I know for a fact it's not that. It's really not even talking about where Mexico is located. The gist of this passage, what this passage is mostly about, is about that many children attend school in Mexico. That's what this passage is about. That's what the gist is. See how brief that was? It was just a one quick sentence. Many children attend school in Mexico. That's the gist of the story. Now I want to come over here and I want to talk to you about the main idea. What is the difference between gist and main idea? The main idea, it says the main points related to the real world, what the author wants you to understand or take away. So I wanted to watch this video with you real quick to see if we can understand the difference between gist and main idea.
Can somebody explain what is a gist?
The gist is what pops into your head first.
The gist you only read like one time?
You don't reread it, it's just your first thought.
Your
Our
initial
first thinking, I love that.
but what the
What is the
text
text mostly all about? And then what is a main idea?
When you reread for the main idea, you gather more details from what you read from the beginning.
Every time that you read it, you pay attention more.
Put it into chunks and you start describing the chunk and then you put it all together to make one big whole piece.
key points the author wants you to take away from the reading. So, friends, when you think about what they said about the difference between gist and main idea, they said when you reread, you're rereading for more detail. So, the first time we read, we're just thinking, what is this text about, mostly about? That's the gist. But then when I read it again and I go back through, I'm thinking about more details. Well, what's the real world? What is the real author really wanting me to understand? And what details can I find from the text to help me prove that? Okay. So we're going to reread. When we think about the second time we read this, we're going to reread it and we're going to think, what does the author want me to understand and take away from the reading of the text? The gist is just what the text is mostly about. The main idea is what the author wants you to understand and take away from the reading. So if I go back, I'm going to flip back here to this page about Mexico, the children in Mexico attending school. That's the gist. Now I'm going to reread this page and I'm going to think, what does the author want me to understand? That's the main idea. So let's reread this. Mexican children start school when they are 6 years old. They must go to elementary school for 6 years and middle school for 3 more. Students take classes in reading, writing, math, science, and history. In some schools, students study English or other languages. Students in Mexico do not have to attend high school. Some go to work instead to help support their family. Students who continue their education can choose between 2 different kinds of school. Some high schools prepare students to go to college. Others offer training for specific jobs that they can start after graduating. So what is the author wanting us to take away from this text? When I think about what the author wants us to know, he wants us to know that in Mexico, children go to school a little different than they do here, right? When I think about that in Mexico, Mexican children start school and they go to elementary, they go to middle school, but they don't have to go to high school, right? So the main idea of this text could be, when I think about what does the author want me to know about this, it's about how schools, what schools are like in Mexico. What are schools like in Mexico? Well, how do I know that's what he wants me to know? Let's see if I can find 3 details. The first details to tell me what schools are like in Mexico is they go to school when they're 6. They go to elementary for 6 years and then middle for 3. Another key detail, they study writing, reading, math, science, and history. Another key detail, students in Mexico don't have to attend high school. So I found 3 details to support what is school like in Mexico. My gist, this is mostly about many children attending schools in Mexico. The main idea, what the author really wants me to know, is what is school like in Mexico? And I can tell you 3 details to support that. So when you're thinking about the difference between gist and main idea, think gist is a quick snip. It's super fast, it's not on a detail. But when we reread to find the main idea, you're going to have a lot more details to go with that. Now, what I would like for you to do is go back into our Google Classroom, and under classwork, you're going to see an assignment that says gist or main idea. When you click on this, it's going to take you to a Flipgrid. And all I want you to do is record and tell me, what is the difference between gist and main idea? I will look for your assignment to be turned in. And for those who have turned it in, I will give you a goodie treat on Friday, along with a PBIS. And for this assignment, I might give you till Monday and give it to you on Tuesday when you come back from Labor Day, but I would really like all those to be turned in by Friday because I'm going to start checking them on Friday. I hope this helps. And if you have any questions, please let me know.